Hey folks, is that working alright? I think it is. Oh, that's still the little jar. I don't know when that thing resets. I hope it's a good couple weeks. I do like the jar. It's very satisfying to watch the stuff clink in there. I think it makes noise too, which is pretty great. Need to turn the fucking brightness down on this computer so I don't, on my big screen, so I don't look like a ghastly ghoul, a ghoulish entity. I don't want to clear it. I want a big old jar. Slowly construct a. Oh god, I haven't really had anything to drink all day. That was like my first drink, well, since I got up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I didn't turn my alarm on. Well, I didn't turn my alarm on for the express purpose of catching up on sleep. And normally I drink a lot in a day, but it just so happens that I hadn't had anything today. So, welcome in. I didn't notice that you'd come in because on my screen you and AJ have the exact same color username. You're both sort of like a magenta in my stream thing. Also, this music's really good. Oh, this is from the newer album. But yeah, I'm sure the title sort of fills you in more or less completely on what today is. I'm rebuilding Monk. I was speaking with Joe or Spider Silk, I think about 2 or 3 nights ago. And I have a lot of homebrew, like a lot in my home game, and he's not a fan of a lot of it. Most of it he doesn't particularly like, which is fair enough. And we were both sort of lamenting how kind of dog shit Monk is in base. Because it's really bad. On like a design level, it's not a demonic cesspool of just awfulness, but it's still not very good. It's still like pretty bad. And I came up with an idea to make Monk a bit more interesting, which it, frankly, just isn't. It isn't interesting. If I get out my player's handbook right now, and I know most of the stuff in the player's handbook is OGL, so I can actually show you I can certainly show you all of base Monk, which is where the majority of the issues are. A lot of the subclasses are like a bit hit or miss, but like on the whole, they're fine. But my goal over the next sort of probably 3 weeks-ish, probably a bit more than that, it depends, is to strip Monk down to its most basic components and reconstruct it as something wholly new. And I think I have a really interesting idea as to how to do that. Because, let me just go and find, I have my player's handbook right here. I think this is the original print of the player's handbook. Let me just double check. I think if a certain somebody is in the, yes, this is the original print. Because Zach What's-His-Face is still credited in it. Okay, right, Monk is on page 76 through, I think, like 80. Oh no, it's actually a bit longer than that. Through 81. And Monk is one of the simpler classes in 5th edition, and I think that's actually one of its strengths, is it is really not very hard to understand. It's certainly more complex than Fighter and Rogue, but because Rogue has, like, new players completely failing to grasp what sneak attack is and how it works, but then everything else about Rogue is, like, the biggest pile of piss on the planet. Like, you'd have to be a moron not to understand it. And Fighter is, I hit a dude, usually more than once, and that's it. That's all Fighter does. Which I also strongly dislike, but I don't need to rework Fighter because, if I remember correctly, Steve Fiddler has already done it, and has done an incredible job of it. his version of Fighter is fantastic. I strongly recommend. Those of you who are not already playing it or have not already used it because you're in my home games, I recommend you go give it a look. As he goes by or used to, he doesn't anymore. Leihanet. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like a Leihanet. Is it like? It looks like that. I think. But let me just. Oh, I need to reload my stream manager so I can actually like watch the stream and make sure there's nothing wrong. Whoops. But my plan basically is to, for this stream, which is going to be a little shorter than most of these, mostly because I have been very lazy today and was very late starting, but oh well. My plan is to basically go through all of Base Monk and take pot shots at it and talk shit about it, because Monk on the whole is like, it's a lot of really cool ideas, but there's a lot of flavor dissonance and a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit that makes it kind of awful. Playing Monk is not the worst thing on the planet. It gets very homogenous at later levels where you're still doing the same thing you were doing at level 2. But it's something else I'm looking at changing, and my sort of core points of inspiration here are Absolver, because I played a lot of Absolver recently. Like, I tried to get good at Absolver. I failed, but I tried. I beat the game, the base game, which is not that hard, a couple times. Okay, right. I'm going to go on like Roll20 or D&D Beyond or whatever, where they show all the OGL crap. I'm going to go give that a look, and then we are going to... I'm going to go through all of it over the course of the next sort of 15 minutes or so and pick it apart. And say the things I like about it and the things I don't like about it, and I'm going to say what's going to go in and what's going to get taken out. Also, on an unrelated side note, there is a little thing I can't actually really point to. Hang on, actually, I can maybe do. Hang on, no, over there. There we go. Well, that's an ad. It's for my stuff, so I'm not that much of a fucking shill. But that's coming out on November 1st. It's got some gods in it. Fuck, that's the wrong cover because I still got the fucking little DM's Guild logo on there. Whoops. Let me go fix that. It's because I never exported a new medium. Oh, okay. No, hang on. Give me a second. I need to fix it. I fucked it up. Haha, there we go. Because the previously mentioned Steve Fiddler, when I tweeted about this, he was like, wait, this is for drive-through, but you have the DM's Guild logo on it. And I was like, shit. Because I somehow completely missed that. By the way, this art is by AJ, who I think is still here. It's very good. It's good. Take a look at it when it comes out. Or follow me on Twitter or something. I'm going to be tweeting about it a bunch until it comes out on... Indeed. So it's got Angela, and currently not fully confirmed, but most of the content in the book is going to be OGC, so you can use it. Okay, right. Completely just had a fucking mind blank there. Yes, there is Angela is a colorful character, that's for sure. There's some fun shit in there. I'm gonna probably do some previews of it on stream as time goes on. Okay, let me grab. Why am I going on to Twitter? I don't want Twitter. I want to go on fucking. Oh god, I am like completely losing it right now. Monk 5e. Roll20, perfect. That'll do. So let's have a little look-see on Monk. Just base Monk, all the normal stuff. There we go. Where is my screen capture? Here we go. It's me, slightly larger now. So here is Monk. This is just I'm just on the Roll20 website. This is everything that's on here is OGL. So you can do whatever the fuck you want with any of this. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Is I'm going to be tearing this shit apart. So if we look at Monk is a martial class with very magical theming, which is cool. It's cool, and I like it. And it really sort of borrows heavily from that sort of archetype of a Far East, like a Buddhist monk. You know, a guy who sits in a temple, meditates, and learns the power of ki or chi or kui, if you really want to pronounce it very wrong. I think ki and chi are the two accepted pronunciations, and the spelling is whatever the fuck you want it to be. And really, like, they don't give a shit about how you spell it. But D&D elects to use ki and specifically pronounces it ki. Everybody on the design team calls it ki anyway, and so does pretty much everybody who plays it. And the only person I've encountered who calls it chi, I don't even know. But either way, Monk gets unarmored defense and martial arts. These two things, I'm changing nothing about these because these work great. These are good. They work fine. The Monk martial art die increasing as you gain levels. That's cool. Using dexterity, blah, 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 blah. You get a third attack as a bonus action. That's great. That's fine. Everything about that is fine. And unarmored defense, is a no-brainer. Of course monks have unarmored defense. That makes perfect sense. Ki is where I'm going to start changing things. Because I have a very significant problem with the way that ki is scaled in the base game. And ki either becomes functionally infinite around 8th level, depending on how you play the game. If you play sort of a dungeon crawly, hexy kind of game, where there's going to be 2 or 3 combat encounters every single day, then ki is a very balanced ability. Like, it works fine. There is nothing wrong with it, and it is fine. If you do what I do, and you find that kind of playstyle to be boring as all fuck, unless used very sparingly, ki becomes infinitely applicable. And I've received a lot of sort of argument in sort of debates I've had with people over the years, and about the 5-minute adventuring day, where the adventuring day consists of 5 minutes of action, and then that's it. So players can safely use everything and not have to worry about it. And that 100% is applicable, except in the case of ki. Because unless every single encounter you have over the course of a day is a combat encounter, ki is still basically free. Because you can sit down and have a nap for an hour and you get all of it back, no questions asked, which is, frankly, fucking ridiculous. I strongly do not like Monk at all. Not a fan. The way this scaling, do not like it. You really, really, and I mean really, have to push monks to get them to be in a position where they have to be sparing with their ki, unless they're super low level. So changing the ki's scaling is going to be finding a nice balance where people who like the 5-minute adventuring day can still use it and it not be super broken, but people who play the game in sort of the sort of intended way, air quotes. There is an intended way, but it's not the right way. There's no right way. As long as everyone's having fun, that's the right way. That's a very major thing that's going to be changed, is the ki scaling is going to change quite significantly. And the ki powers, which is their sort of temporary name for now, are things like Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, Step of the Wind, and some of the other features you get from other classes, so other sort of monk subclasses, and stuff you get at later levels. Stuff that uses your ki to augment your abilities. A lot of these are fine, and there is nothing wrong with them at all. Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, Step of the Wind, they all make perfect sense for Monk, and they're super cool. However, I'm gonna, if anybody was watching the stream where I touched on Barbarian, I'm gonna be doing the same thing here. We're going to take this one, or in this case, 3 features, and extrapolate it out into this big web of things that you can pick from. Because options are good. Like, on a character building basis, the more options people have, generally the more interesting characters they tend to make, and the more fun they tend to have. That's just almost a no-brainer. That's just kind of almost a fact, is that people prefer to have more interesting options, and the more options they get, the more fun they tend to have. That's not a universal rule, but that is my design philosophy, and I will continue to stick by it vigilantly. But, oh god, I need to cough. Just adjusting in my seat as well. As mentioned many times, this chair is hell, and I hate it. But yeah, that's one of the major things that's going to get changed, is these things here are going to get shuffled around a bit. Unarmored movement, I think unarmored movement's kind of cool, but again, later on, I'm going to start revamping a lot of the monk features, because monk is that's one thing that makes monk very complex more complex for new players, is they're super fucking front loaded. You get so much shit. Just like level 1 to 5. Normally, if we look at like cleric, for example, at level 1 you get spellcasting and your divine domain. That is it. So you get some spells, you get some cantrips, and you get the opening feature for your divine domain, which are usually fairly simple, like proficiency and then a move that you can do. At second level, you get channel divinity, you get turn undead, and then you get the one from your domain. And at third level, to my memory, I don't think you get anything. No, you get more divine domain features, usually a second channel divinity, I think. I may have to double check that because I don't actually know. But monk, level 1 to 3, you get armored defense and martial arts. Simple enough. Second level, you get key and unarmored movement. Still not too crazy. Third level, you get your subclass and deflect missiles. At fourth, which is almost exclusively relegated for 1 ability score improvement, you get that and slow fall. And at fifth, which you would expect to just be extra attack, nope, extra attack and stunning strike. Just like, okay, sure. Okay, sure thing. Great. They're so fucking front-loaded, and putting a lot of these abilities behind a door, sort of just even if it's the same number of abilities, just putting them behind a door so that players don't feel like they're are only sort of stealthily being thrown mountains of crap instead of the mountains of crap just being dropped on their head. It feels a lot nicer to look at when you're not scrolling through the class like, holy shit, why is there so much? When you have to like scroll to the bottom and look at a couple options to get the real deal, the realsy dealsy, if you will. So the monastic traditions, most of them are fine. Like a lot of the monk subclasses are very simple, but very thematic, with the exception of Open Palm. Open Palm is fucking stupid, but all the others, very cool. I'm a big fan of a lot of the monk subclasses because they're very simple but very, very effective. So we can sort of say like, oh, monk subclasses, they're very simple. So let's make some complexity in monk by putting it in the base class itself, which is good. Complexity and complication are two very different things. Complexity is this is not that hard to understand, but there's a lot of layers to it, and I can do a lot of interesting things, whereas complicated is, please help, I don't know what's going on. Those are the two different things. Is complex, simple to understand, difficult to master, and you can see the capacity for mastery from the get-go. And complicated is there is just a barrier to entry. of like, usually like complication comes from poor writing, and just too much stuff. Options is fine, but when you're just having mountains of shit just thrown at you, then it does become too much, usually. Not always, but usually. But basically my idea is to split all of the monk combat abilities into key powers, or whatever, and all of the flavor features that you get at higher levels that mostly don't make any sense outside of the generic Buddhist monk archetype, make them optional, sort of like warlock invocations. They're minor abilities. We could call the main ones key techniques, and the minor ones key powers, or whatever. I don't know. Like, the names will come later. They'll probably come quite naturally as well. Trying to force them now is a bit of a waste of time. Oh, God, my neck. Okay, right. Let me just shift this down, because this is way too high, I've noticed. There we go. I'm actually sort of in frame now. So we're gonna start, and I'm gonna go back to Word document capture. God, that's really stuttery. Fucking Streamlabs. Jesus. So let's go over here and make a big old table. This is the less interesting bit, so just don't mind me. So level, proficiency, bonus, features, martial arts, damage die, because, just to be clear. Or just martial arts die. There we go. That's easier. Less words. Key techniques, key powers. So actually sort of kind of going mystic, turning monk into mystic, kind of, sorta, which actually I think works very well. Oh, God, that tea is really good. I'm sort of patting myself on the back there, but, just don't mind me. I'm just formatting this table, make it look all nice and pretty, because that's very important. Right, here we go. So, first, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm just going to very quickly sort of... Oh, shit. I went 2 over. Very nice. Very cool. Very good. Thank you very much, Libby. I'm waiting. Oh, nice. Nice. Very nice. Spend those epic gamer points. And also, as a side note, my channel points are called epic gamer points and will continue to be so for the foreseeable future. Or probably just forever, to be honest. I'm too fucking lazy to change that shit. And also, it's kind of funny. It's pretty good. And subscribers get access to my epic gamer emote, drawn by AJ. Hang on, did I make an emotes command? Emotes? No, I didn't. But hang on, manual command. Follow Twitter. Go. Probably should have just made a command that did that, but Imagine competency. I sure don't have any of that shit. That's normie shit right there. How does the monk martial art die scale? How big does this boy get? It does go up to a d6 at So we're gonna go here. D6, 1d6. This is good. What track is this? Oh, it's the same album. I've not heard much of this album apparently. This is Harris Heller, by the way. Another streamer makes music for streamers. He seems like a pretty gamer individual. He seems like a Chad, frankly. Now, the martial arts scaling is something we may be addressing later on, because monks really do suffer because, you know, your fighter or whatever is going to have like a +2 longsword at least by the end of the game. So when your monk has a +0 punch that does only slightly, that does less damage, you may get more attacks, but the fighter's damage probably adds up higher. Like, that scaling there is something I may be addressing, because we may be pulling D8s down to here, pulling D10s down to here, and pulling D12s up here somewhere, just to improve the scaling just a little. Key techniques, no key techniques or powers at level 1, and there will be probably 3 key techniques at level 2, and probably no key powers or something. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but it's going to work somehow. Probably. Sure. So you get two key powers. Hang on, so we'll do it this way. Key power. Key powers. Key. We call them martial techniques. And then we get unarmored defense, martial arts, and then we can say ability score improvement, extra attack, simple as 3 3 3, and then 2 3 3 4, something like this. Nothing too ludicrous, nothing too crazy. Maybe we could do 4 here. I think that would probably be okay too. How does this 4 5 5 5 5 6 6 6 6 7 7 7 7? How much work does that make? Because realistically, you should never have all of the options by the time you get to the top. That shouldn't be how that shit works. You should never have like the one option that you really don't want, but you have to take it as you're at 17th level. That's not fun. That's not cool. You want to be able to take something interesting and exciting at a higher level. And I think so we're going to need like at least 10 martial techniques, and the base class has probably like 4 or 5 of them ish. Actually, I'm not liking this technique. I think these should be powers. These should be key powers. See, this is why, like, monkey. I shouldn't be monkeying with names now, but I've already fallen into the trap of doing it. And then key trait. No, key traits. That sounds like key like that key traits, which is not what I want. Again, I've fallen into the trappings of. So for now, we're gonna call them powers and passives, just for. Neither of these names are final at all. Like, neither of these names are even remotely final. However, greetings. Well, welcome in. So yeah, we're just gonna do something like this, and then a slightly more sort of rigorous scaling. Something like that. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's going to be. We may have a bunch of key passives. Don't know. I may decide that, like, oh, there's going to be, like, 15 key passives, and we're going to be, like, really little minor abilities that you can get. And if so, cool. And if not, well, then we won't do that. This is extremely preliminary at the moment, but this sort of figuring out sort of a vague structure of what we want is going to be really helpful. And also figuring out what our dead levels are. Like, what levels we actively just don't have anything yet. And then I think after we've done this, I'm going to go through some of the higher level monk shit and tear some of that out, because fuck me, is some of it just bad. It's just really bad. Actually, I think I'm going to commit to doing a shitload of key passives for now. You should come out with like a bunch of really little abilities. It's like, oh, I'm immune to poison. That's my 7th level key passive or whatever. I don't know. That should be the kind of thing that we're going for here. Not necessarily, but something like that. Finishing my tea. Oh, that's something I neglected to do. Monastic tradition. Big sip. So, at 6th level is going to be the exact same. Like, 6th level is not going to change. Because again, you get some really core features at this level. So, that is going to be the same. To be fair, key empowered strikes could very easily be moved to 5th, but I have a feeling 5th is going to maybe contain something else. I also haven't put key on here either. I need to do that. Whoops. Just key like that. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops. There we go. Formatting tables on Microsoft Word with Jack. Very, very interesting and riveting. So the key scaling, I think we're gonna leave. We're gonna keep it. I'm gonna throw something out there, just toss it out and see how I like it, and work out what I'm gonna do with it after that. So I'm gonna say 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit, I fucked that up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11. Something like that. I don't know. That's very, very preliminary. I may completely change it. But it's just so there's numbers in this column, because it's going to real piss me off if there aren't numbers in this column. Now, evasion, 100%, that's still a monk thing. That's still going in. Ability score improvement, still a 9th kind of situation. '11th, we have our monastic tradition. Oh wait, when else do we get monastic tradition? 17th, and that's it. So it's actually a very sort of... It's a little sparse. We don't get anything in here, but again, with what we're doing to monk, we could 100% go in and do that. We could add in more monastic tradition features and just, like, you know, add a whole bunch to the subclasses. Ah, yes. Many pogs. I just accidentally clicked on the bits button instead of the emotes button. It said I can't cheer in my own channel. Good to know, Twitch. Thanks. I guess. Okay. Ability score improvement, we get one of those at 12th, 16th, and 19th. So these are our levels of stuff that still needs to go back in. Because a lot of these abilities are whack as hell. Yeah, a lot of these abilities are just super whack. Like, why the fuck do monks get proficiency in all saving throws? What is the reason for that? Why? Why can they speak to anything? Is that what ki does? Is that what ki is? You know, you just sort of go, and then you can, like, hear Reggie the dog and understand his balks mean that he wants to kill this cat or something. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. A lot of the monk abilities really sort of stem into psionics in a way that just really doesn't make any fucking sense. Even when you take monk as like the Buddhist, like the sort of Buddhist monk, which is like vaguely magical kind of aesthetic. Which is not really like a fantasy trope either, of like yes, Buddhism is like actual magic. It's like, that's not really a thing. D&D kind of just invented that and said, this is a trope now, and it's never really caught on anywhere else, because it really doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, if it's just like a Buddhist monk who comes down from the mountains and can do like a flying kick on somebody in the skull, then hell yeah, that's cool. But when it's like because I'm a Buddhist monk, I come down from the mountains and you know, do a Professor X and some guy's head explodes, it's like, it's, you know, it's you make that series of facial expressions and just go, what the fuck is going on? And are generally quite confused. So yeah, that's more or less the monk opinions. Like, purity of body, kind of, like, it makes sense from, again, the angle of, like, the Buddhist monk. Like, it's cool, it makes sense. But not every, like, monk is very restrictive because of these higher level abilities, where you sort of become, like, strictly magic. Like, you're not just, you know, you're not, like, you know, you're not just like a guy who punches people really good anymore. You are strictly magic. You have magic powers. Ki stops becoming like this sort of abstract, sort of, you know, your will and your physical and mental strength making you great at fighting. It's like, no, Ki's just magic. Like, Ki is just shitty magic, which sucks, and I hate it. And whilst it can stay in the class, it shouldn't be part of the class's core identity. Once we're done with this, someone should be able to come in and make just like a boxer or like a street fighter or an MMA bro as a monk, and it makes sense on a thematic level. You should be able to make a wrestler, or I don't know, a lucha libre or something. Like, you should be able to do that shit, as opposed to you know, just be a magic, you know, just a magic Napoleon. I know, obviously not all Buddhists are Napoleon, but you know what I mean. Like, you shouldn't come out of this being like Zenyatta from Overwatch. That should be an option and a clear archetype within the class that you can be, but that shouldn't be the one option that you have, because it 100% is the only option that you have playing monk. You don't really have anything else. And it's IMO, it's pretty whack, and I really don't like it. So that's going to be sort of the first thing, is like defining what these powers are. And obviously the starters, you know, the obvious sort of starting point is going to be Flurry of Blows, Step of the Wind, Patient Defense. If they end up being the staples and everybody takes them because they're just really good, then that's fine. That probably should be the case, that you know, you're always going to take Flurry of Blows because it's the best one. Like, hell, you might just, oh, well, it's because it's quite good. But we should come out of this and make it so that Monk is with sort of the two goals, I guess, that I haven't really established. I've sort of skirted around them and explained them, but not explicitly stated what they are. The two goals is we make, I guess there's three. There's three goals. So goal number one is Monk needs to be more interesting, because it just isn't very interesting. 2, Monk needs to work on a flavor basis. Yeah, hell yeah, that should be an option. Number 2 is make it so that you can do that. You can make an MMA Chad and make the Monk and it actually work. And number 3 is we make Monk not suck late game, because Monks do suck late game, because unless your name is Beauregard Lionette, your damage output is functionally 0. The only times sort of Monks become really, really good is when you slap Holy Weapon on them, and then Monks become like nuts, but that's because Holy Weapon is like a ridiculously good spell, because it's from Xanathars, and all the spells from Xanathars are really pushed in a way that's not good or bad, I would say. I'm very neutral on a lot of the spells from Xanathars, because a lot of them are really fucking cool, but a lot of them are like, this seems obscenely powerful. Like, Mighty Fortress, the 8th level spell where you just summon a fortress. You just like, yo, that's a castle, and I just made it. I don't know how I feel about that. It's pretty cool, but I still, I feel a little reservation, you know? I feel a little, thinking about it makes me a little uncomfortable, because that's really fucking powerful. So we're gonna sort of start by slapping in Monk's core features. We'll get those class features in. As a monk. Whoops. Proficiencies, hit points. I'm a sucker for formatting on Word, so forgive me if a lot of this stream ends up being me fucking around with Word formatting to make it look good, because this stuff really annoys me. It has to look pretty, but I don't want to do this in like GM Binder or whatever, because like that would make this take even longer. And also Word is, I find, just much easier to work in, just generally. Embolden all of this. God, why did you... I'm very confused. Why did you make a new account? I mean, thanks for the extra follow, I suppose, but I'm quite confused. What have you done? Oh, that says Shrot Sword. Let's fix that. Oh, I forgot that there was a stage where I just, hang on. That was 10 dots. Ah, okay. That makes sense. And now it's less incorrect, because the E and the U aren't the wrong way around. Yeah, so all these monk proficiencies, these are fine. Oh, apparently some new lockdown rules for the UK. I'm actually going to go Google what these are, because these sound actually quite important. Because I was making a plan to leave my house tomorrow for the first time in several weeks. Lockdown rules UK. Actually, I'm actually going to read these like right now. this. This is a big old block of text. I ain't reading this shit now. I'll read it later. Oh my god, Kenny, stop begging for follows. Unacceptable. I haven't really had much of that yet. I've not had a lot of people unfollow me, I don't think. So far at least, I haven't had any sort of like mass unfollowing or anything like that. I've just been kind of hovering around the low 50s mark for some time. I haven't like gone up really much at all. Yeah, that's why I got emotes. I've been affiliate for a while. I just didn't set it up because I had to apply to pay my fucking taxes, which took a really long time because I couldn't be asked to go do it. Here's my emote. This is you can get your hands on this crunchy boy. Hang on, let's see if I can do it. Hang on, no, fuck, it's mirrored. Shit. Hang on. There's hang on. Do I know? I look this way. Just such power. See, my hair doesn't look that sort of luscious and wonderful in real life. Instead, it's gross and moist because I got out of the shower not long before I started streaming. So my hair is moist, which is just quite unpleasant, really. But we're gonna slap this bad boy on here. Martial arts. Let's just get straight up the text from martial arts, because martial arts is really cool and balanced. So I also really like the flavor text at the end, where it encourages you to use different sorts of weapons. So yeah, martial arts, good. Oh shit, no, I copied it from Roll20, so it has all the wrong, it has incorrect capitalization. So, ew, gross. Let's fix that. That makes me really mad. Actually does, because I'm a fucking, dirty little fucking formatting neat freak. I'm a piece of or a piece of shit, in other words. Okay. Oh. Cough.wav. So martial arts. Oh, and unarmored defense comes first. I forgot unarmored defense has to go first, you see, because everywhere is telling me to do that, so let's fix that. Okay, I did do that, so it's okay. So we go key. So we're gonna sort of get sort of the base text for key. This is copied from my own like private homebrew stuff that I let my players have access to. So there might be some. So yeah, like this is in sort of my current version of Monk, which I think is a much nicer way of limiting key. Oh, perfect. I love it. Hang on. Oh, the fucking sunglasses don't work at all. Yeah, I got a backwards one. Which is, no. Oh, God. Cough. My stream cough is forever, So your access to this key, you spend coins to view various key features. What scaling do I use in my home version of Monk? You scale pretty low. I basically halved the scaling, actually. You gain a key point every other level. So you go 2, 2. Oh no, I've done it even more differently. You go 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It should be, at the very, very least, it should be 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Hang on, let's go 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Look at that, scared the shit out of me. Oh, thank you very much for the bitterinos. Oh, did you add a little pog for fuck's sake? Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Thank you very much. Some bitterinos. Some bitteringuses. 9, 9, 10, 10. Oh shit. There is. It's probably gonna stay there for a long time. Oh my god, he's doing a little dance in there. Oh, that's even better. That's gonna be so distracting. I love it. Did you choose the pog, Ruben? Was that an option? I don't know. I've never cheered before. To be fair, I don't fucking know how bits work. They seem like donating with extra steps. Nah, he shall never be free. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I thought you could just choose like any emote. Because I thought it was mine, because they have very similar, you know, it's the same sort of hair color and stuff, and then I saw it and I was like, wait, no, it's a little pog emoji. I love it. Very, very cool, very good. Oh, nice. So yeah, this is the sort of scaling I'm probably looking for. Where... Fuck, I've put this in the wrong place. God damn it. So you have a small number of key points that scale up at a reasonable pace. Maybe I'll increase this. I don't know. I'm gonna sort of teeter on it a bit. Indeed, he's the bit leader. When you spend key is unavailable until you finish a short rest, at the end of which you draw your expended key back into yourself. Spend at least 30 minutes to rest to regain your key points. Expended key. Right. Something I found has been super useful in understanding first of all, a train of thought, and second of all, sort of spacing a feature and making it easy for people to read, is to just add some fucking subtitles like they do for spellcasting. Spellcasting is actually really easy to read and understand, and once you've read it once, you generally don't need to read it again. And key should look like that, instead of this big ass wall of text here. So, we're gonna do just that. Key save DC. Regaining expended key. Listed at the end of the class description. So there we go. We have key has been split up very cleanly and is now hopefully extremely easy to understand and grasp, especially for new players, so they can read this opening paragraph and say, okay, this is what key is. These are key powers. This is how I regain key, and this is the saving throw that my key uses. So, good. Very good and cool. I might actually include Timeless Body, because I think Timeless Body is like, you know, old people who are good at punching, that's pretty normal. Like, you know, you see stories online all the time about, oh, this man is 99 and he just ran the Boston Marathon or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, cool, good for him. He's, you know, he's clearly, you know, working hard to keep himself healthy, and B, probably won a genetic lottery at some stage, even if just a small one. Because realistically, I imagine most people can do that sort of thing as long as they don't have like pre-existing health conditions. It just takes, a shitload of effort, especially when you're old as fuck. Or for you to have been like, I don't know, like Arnie or whatever, where it's just like, that man's not gonna die. That man can smoke as many cigars as he wants. He's gonna be fine. It's fucking Arnie. Like, no, you could hit Arnie with a bus and he'd just be like, it is fine. Light scratch. He's got Russian. That's not Arnie at all. I'm not very good at Arnie, in case that wasn't blatantly fucking obvious. But I think this is a strong start. I'm going to take a very short break here, actually. I'm going to skedaddle for sort of 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to go grab some food, basically, because I'm kind of hungry. I will be back in about 10 minutes, and then we'll go for another half an hour or so, and then I'll call the stream there. So, thanks for stopping by so far. If you have to leave over the break, thanks for stopping by. If you're still here when you get back, well, when I get back, I'll see you in about 10 or 15 minutes. Kapow. Hey folks, I'm back. Okay. Right. Let's carry on where we left off. Oh. Since I hope everybody had a good time in the break. I'm just starting to pull together the There's a very decent chance that we might fiddle around with these levels and add in a 14th level feature for all the subclasses. And if that's what we end up doing, then great. And if not, then oh well. No. Okay. Go. Okay. So, key passives. Also at 3rd level. Your Is it 2 or is it 1? It's 2. Okay. Okay. So, key passives. Those are in now too. Then we can just grab ability score improvements. And extra attack. Oh no. Oh, Christ. Right. Mind focus. So this is sort of a rework of something that I have in my current version of Monk, which sort of incorporates these sort of reduced key numbers. Because whilst you have more ways of getting your key back by critting or reducing something to 0 hit points, you still have way less at the same regeneration rate. So I think having some other means of regaining key is probably going to be quite useful. You can spend 5 minutes in deep 5 minutes in deep meditation. In deep meditation. Getting up to 2 expended key points. Or regaining up to 1 expended key point. Once you have regained key in this manner, you cannot do so again until you complete a short or long rest. So how much key? So when you get this at 5th level, you have 4 key points. So you can sit down after a fight and meditate for 5 minutes to get one of your key points back. So that seems pretty reasonable. Increasing by 1. So when you're at 10th level, how many do you have? You only have... Oh wait, no, I'm looking completely the wrong place. Because these scale so similarly. And they all start with the word key as well, which doesn't help. Oh, Christ. 10th level, you have 6 key points. We'll go 11th. 11th and 17th level, because at 17th is when you have 10, so you regain 3 key points. You sit down for 5 minutes, you get 3 key points back. That seems super... This seems nichely good. Like, it seems okay, because, you know, asking your party, hey, can we sit down for 5 minutes after this fight? None of the players are going to go, oh, for fuck's sake, really? It's like, it's 5 minutes. Nothing is going to happen in 5 minutes after you've just had a fight, unless something real nasty's going down, at which point you would probably know not to sit down for 5 minutes in the first place. So, yeah, I think this is a strong contender. It may get reworked, it may get changed a little bit, but I think... for now, it's pretty interesting, and I like it. I think this is good. Then we get our key empowered strikes at 6th level, and then evasion at 7th. So those are like unchanged. Those are just going to stay the same because they make sense, you know? So there we go. Add some flavor text to this. You can channel your key into key more precisely through your body, empowering your strikes with its mystical energy. Bam. So there we go. Like, 6th level feature, realistically, you're not going to need to write this down on your character sheet. You just say, my key stuff is magic now. Like, nobody's going to need to write down all of this stuff. It's just, your unarmed strikes are magic, and that's it. And those kinds of features where you don't need to write it down. Unless you're indescribably forgetful. You're never going to need to write it down, because your shit's magic. That's it. And evasion is very much the same. Once you have used evasion once or seen evasion once, you'll never need to reference it again. If you have the memory for it, it's like evasion makes your dex saves better. That's it. So 7th level for monk. So, stillness of mind, that is going to get relegated to a key power or key passive, one or the other. I'm thinking we boost it to higher level and make it a key passive that just makes you immune to charm and frighten. Because realistically, stillness of mind, it's like somebody who knows what your abilities are can just say, don't use stillness of mind when you're charmed or whatever, and you just won't use it. Not to mention, like, monks care about having their action and punching stuff, so stillness of mind is pretty awful. Purity of body as well, that's just going to be like a 10th level, like, key power, because immunity to poison and disease, that's really just kind of a non-factor, it doesn't really matter. Tongue of Sun and Moon, much the same. At 14th level, Diamond Soul. In my base version, Diamond Soul gets fused with the 20th level feature, which otherwise does basically fuck all, and is really kind of bad. Because Diamond Soul is fucking insane. Diamond Soul is nuts. Like, just as an ability to have. Diamond Soul lets you re-roll saving throws as well, which I just straight up didn't know. I didn't know the Diamond Soul let you do that. So that is going to be our 20th level feature. So let me see what... so Diamond Soul is the 14th level feature. It's getting moved to 20th, because holy shit. The Soul of Artifice is a disgusting feature, and Diamond Soul is a slightly worse version of that feature, gotten at 14th level instead. So... well, it's distinctly worse, but Soul of Artifice is absolutely fucking insane, whereas Diamond Soul is just really, really, really good, and has no right being the level that it is, because Jesus. Oh, whoops. So I want to sort of remove some of sort of the Buddhist-y stuff, because obviously, like Diamond Soul is just like you are so sort of in tune with the warrior spirit or whatever. Greetings, welcome in. Currently, yeah, pretty good. How are things on your end? How is the Celtic stuff coming along? You so in tune with sounds good. No, and well, welcome in, Firestorm. Welcome in. Say I'm currently stripping Monk down. I do these streams pretty much every Monday. Do homebrew stuff. I do a fair amount of it as well. I was gonna say I didn't do one last week, but I have otherwise done one every single week for the past like 3 months or so. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Say I'm starting a sort of a larger project at the moment of reworking Monk. Drunken Master Monk is really cool. It's not particularly strong, but it has a lot of really fun abilities. That's all good. Say I forget the exact thing of like Drunken Master and all of its stuff. That's a lot. Immune to magic. That seems pretty nuts. Oh. Drunken Master. What kind of stuff do you, Oh, you get the Drunken Technique. That's cool. It's a niche ability, but it is pretty neat. You can let you sort of, punch in, Tipsy Sway. Tipsy Sway is really cool as well. I remember that being really fun. The 11th level feature is pretty boring, but the 17th level one is pretty cool. Yeah, I'd say it's more or less, to my knowledge, it was invented by Jackie Chan. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Who invented Drunken Fist? Oh, it's like a lineage. It's like a wider... Okay. There's a Buddhist style, a Taoist style. Oh, that doesn't like that. Yeah, no. Okay, it's like a flavor, like a flavor kind of thing. I'd say, I guess all of those abilities just kind of being, just kind of not having a bunch of dud abilities because they don't add up to anything. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. You're so in tune with your body and your soul, you can withstand any form of assault. So that 20th level in there, it's all good, it's all good. 9th and 10th. Yes, they speak Knoll. Oh, that's pretty nice. I'll say, if you're looking for like monster lore, I would strongly recommend. Those are the words I'm looking for. I'd recommend Volo's Guide. It's very, very good for the monsters that are contained within. Yeah, say gnolls are like sort of vaguely demonic. Well, gnolls are demons without being demons. They're the closest thing you can be to a demon without being a literal demon. Because, well, they are the spawn of a demon prince, or the demon lords. I don't know what the title is. I prefer calling them demon princes because they sound way cooler. I think that's from Skyrim. Yeah, Daedric Prince, yeah. That'd be what I stole that from. 9th, 10th, 13th, 14th, and 15th level. Those are the levels that are empty at the moment. Oh, it didn't work. Whoops. Ah, yes. It'll make a fine addition to your collection. Smugglers. What system have you played? I say if given the say the I'm trying to think of like smugglers. I think certainly for me, I guess like okay. So certainly when I make organizations, I never, unless it's like setting specific, I'll never like attach like a race to them specifically, unless that's their literal identity. I would say come up with some kind of theming for the smugglers as opposed to just assigning a race to them, because you'll certainly in my experience anyway, you'll come out with a lot more stylish kind of not necessarily more memorable, but definitely more sort of stylish organizations. So like if all of your smugglers, if they're, I don't know the context, if there was underground, they're sort of like a crime underbelly. To smuggle some two things. That's a yikes. Ethnic cleansing, generally not good. Or generally, no, just exclusively not good. So yeah, I guess you can either you can either sort of have the smugglers explicitly be anti-authoritarian and be sort of like a crime syndicate of like with vague anarchist ideology, which is interesting. You got to do your research for that shit, but like it's pretty interesting. Or you could make them very very fancy, very sort of because you have sort of like the two sort of types of sort of criminal underbellies, right? You got like the grimy, gritty stuff, and then you've got sort of the top level sort of bureaucracy with bright and shiny suits, and you could kind of blend those two, and that's always really fun. Is having a obviously really seedy but really ostentatious criminal organization. Yeah, I'd say I'm more or less in the same boat as you. I've been playing mostly homebrewing for about 5 years. I've run the Forgotten Realms once, and I've run Calabris once, but generally speaking, I ran Ravnica once as well. But I've run all kinds of crap, all of which in 5e. I've run one game. Yeah, I did something very similar for one of my ongoing campaigns. I wrote a disgusting amount just on like one kingdom. It was nuts. I say I go hard on world building. Now I suppose the your best bet for playing is, depending on where you live. Thanks for the follow. It bounced out of the jar. There it goes. It won't reappear until I next stream, but it just disappeared out of the jar. Okay, I say I'm not sure what it's like sort of over there with like game stores and stuff. Obviously at the moment that's not really, on the table, but certainly once, I'm not sure how Belgium is dealing with COVID it can't be doing a huge amount worse than the UK. We're doing it pretty badly. Not the worst, but pretty badly. But obviously once that's over with, game stores can be pretty good. I've had generally good experiences with game stores. Like I'm literally going to a game quite soon. Actually, I'm going to stop streaming in a few minutes to go to that game that I has graduated from a game store game to an online one. There is exactly one game store in my small city that I live in, and I imagine that will be very much the same, if not worse, where you live, because like D&D and like hobby stores and stuff are dying in America, let alone everywhere else. Like there's hell, I've been to London and there is like one game store in London, there's like certainly one that I'm aware of anyway, and it's like north end of Covent Garden. I'm not even sure if they're still open. They've probably gone out of business because of COVID. But there's also there's like forums and subreddits and stuff, and obviously when you're playing with randos, you're gonna have a bad experience at some point, but realistically the best thing is to just sort of pull the weeds and yeah, so that's the dream, stumbling arse backwards into like a super overpowered character. That's always really fun. So he's not in here anymore, but Ruben, one of my friends, has a character who's like that. He picked Abjuration Wizard, rolled really good stats, and picked a few spells that just made his character just invincible. He's like a 14th level wizard with like 150 effective hit points at all times, and he's just completely immune. He's like has advantage on saves against magic, is resistant to magic, can self-heal himself at basically any time, even though he's a wizard and has access to no healing spells. And he can protect other people with his arcane ward, which is how he heals himself, basically. He has like 19 AC, it's ridiculous. Lurker of the Depths. Have I seen Lurker? Let me go read Lurker of the Depths, because that rings a bell. I'll say Warlock is especially like... Warlock is very easy to build wrong. It's like the only class in 5th edition where you can just build it incorrectly, and congratulations, you suck. Yeah, I'll say I'm just looking at the abilities. Oh, you make tentacles, that's pretty cool. Getting some Illaoi vibes from this. Illaoi's like the coolest character from League of Legends, so like, I'm on board. Oh yeah, this is fucking rad as hell. Holy shit, this is cool. Why have I not added this to my list? This is awesome. Jesus. That's pretty neat. Yeah, this is really cool. I like this subclass. But Warlocks tend to get really good subclasses. The base ones in the player's handbook, they're all fucking shit. They all suck. Fiend is the only one that's even remotely good, but it's still mostly really bad. And Fae and Gulag are just awful. Like they're just a joke. My most recent stream was reworking Fae and Gulag. I'll say, is that the 14th level ability? Because all of the 14th level Warlock abilities are like stupid. They're like absolute fucking insanity. They're super cool though. Yeah, this seems about on par with Hell Through Hell. yeah, it's pretty cool. I say, Hell through Hell is the Fiend one. It's the redeeming factor of Fiend Warlock is also really, really strong. Yeah, I say, we made a fair amount of progress on Monk today. Oh, it has... oh, okay, no, it's just better. That's really overpowered. That's absolutely fucking nuts. But, yeah. But yes, I am going to stop here, because I do have a game to go to. So I do actually, like, need to go. But thank you very much for people who have come, and a retroactive thank you for people who were here earlier on. Yeah, that's pretty insane. But yes, thank you very much. I will potentially be streaming on Wednesday evening. I'm not sure what. It's either going to be some magic stuff or more of this, because I'm quite enjoying this so far. We've made a fair amount of progress, sort of defining the core, like the baseline, which is what I'm sort of looking for here, I guess. Yeah, I think sort of next week we're going to start filling out some of this, some of the sort of defining more of the key powers and stuff. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, folks. I will see you guys next time.